Absolutely. We've been anticipating this swell, Kaibo. Been keeping in touch with people in New Zealand. Obviously, that swell hits New Zealand first on the way here. Very exciting stuff here this morning. Obviously, we are on go all day. It is looking like we're going to see a little bit of increase in the swell. We've got a yellow jersey in the water in the form of Tyler Wright up against Tatiana Weston-Webb, and an amazing wildcard who did some serious damage here last year, Bethany Hamilton. I can't wait to see this unfold. You know, you want to definitely win this first heat. It's obviously a settler. It's obviously get your feet wet, get them in the wax, and here we go.
Tyler Wright gets the first wave of the heat, draws off the bottom, hooks it off the top. Tyler being very patient, places a second turn, looks down the line, building some momentum. Another snap for Wright as she comes around this section, and just works over this wave through the inside. Multiple maneuvers for Tyler on this opening wave, making the best of it. And she's going to take this one all the way into the channel, and it's going to go complete for Tyler Wright. So score that for the Yellow Jeep Leaders jersey, Tyler Wright.
Yeah, just a bit of a slow start at the moment. Obviously 35-minute heats here today, 25 remaining. So 10 minutes gone before the first wave has been surfed. You can see the wind, obviously that trade wind effect here. Pretty much onshore everywhere else except Cloud Break. The way that wave bends around the reef break ends up going offshore through that inside section. So, and then that jet ski assist, which is oh so important out here at Cloud Break, saves your energy. Get to regroup and get back out into the lineup. Let's have a look at Tyler demanding that, commanding that inside position. I like this casual approach to kick things off. And then that power base. Tyler Wright, a heavy back-footed surfer. So you're going to see a lot of spray out the back of the wave, a lot of water displaced from Tyler Wright. The judges are going to like that. Just nice, easy rhythm on this opening wave. Not necessarily going for broke. You just want to get that first solid score under your belt. Apply the pressure on your opponents. And Tyler Wright did exactly that. So a good little score to kick things off. And then that shot across the channel. This is the camera angle all the way from Tabaroo Island. Quite a fair distance out in the middle of the ocean. You can see how the ocean is completely chopped up in the background, but the face of the wave remains nice and clean here at Cloud Break. And Tyler Wright opens up with a good solid mid-ranger, Kaipo.
Solid score indeed. Tyler Wright opens up with a flat 6, a 6-point ride. A good start for the Yellow Jeep.
Created a big chop out the back and all the way through the inside even, and it's really, you know, it's got some clean face, but we'll see how Bethany handles it here. She comes around the corner. She's got herself a nice little wave. Nice hack off the open face there. See if she gets something else on the inside. Bang again, just letting it go. And another one. Putting up numbers right there. She's not done yet. I love it. Bethany just taking scalps off the top of that, and out the back, Tatiana. Take it away, boys.
Tatiana Weston-Webb with a big snap of her own comes off the bottom and throws buckets of spray. Looking for a hollow section, has to duck out the back as the wave just runs down the line. Tyler Wright up on her second wave, looking down the line, building up some board speed. She's going to have to kick out as that wave runs away quickly. Tyler Wright's going to maintain her position out in the takeoff zone. But how was that last, well, the opening wave for Bethany Hamilton, showing her intent out here at Cloud Break?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we don't expect anything less from Bethany, do we? Every single wave surfed at 100% and gets herself onto the jet ski. Make sure that equipment doesn't get damaged in the process. But you heard Strider talk about the fact with the higher tide. Let's get back to that, up and riding.
Tyler Wright staying busy, a little better this time, working the way down the line, got that opening snap, building up some board speed. Wants to place another maneuver, has to streak down the line to find more open face. Sets up off the bottom, bangs it off the top, catches that outside rail, unfortunately, and goes down.
Towards that shish kebab section, a lot hollower, a lot more critical wave. Bethany off the ski, and let's have a look at her first wave. Obviously that first wave in the set, you're going to see a lot of wind affected. You heard Strider talk about the fact with that wind coming across the reef, but it doesn't hinder Bethany's performance one bit. There's that front side snap we talk about, keeping it right in the pocket, keeping it in that power source. A smaller wave, but absolutely ripped it to pieces. Tatiana Weston-Webb on wave number 2, you can see a little cleaner. So that first wave goes through the lineup, it smooths out conditions for wave number 2 and 3. And Tatiana absolutely going to town, some critical turns, and then that end section runs away. So beautiful wave surf nonetheless. Tyler Wright on the back as well. A good snap there to kick things off, and then watch the board speed that Tyler Wright gets here, trimming down the line, obviously looking for that section, in two minds right now what to do, and maybe picks the wrong maneuver. So Tyler Wright goes down on wave number 3. Tatiana Weston-Webb is going to lock in an absolute cracker, and Bethany Hamilton in the mix as well.
Well, the math done now with the judges as we see Tyler Wright paddling back out. On that exchange, Tatiana Weston-Webb comes out on top with a 7.83 high good range score for Tatiana Weston-Webb, a 6.17 for Bethany Hamilton on her opening wave, and that 6-point ride was backed up with 2.17 for Tyler Wright, who currently has a heat lead, but in a really vulnerable position given that Tatiana Weston-Webb has that big score of a 7.83.
Excellent scores. 3 judges throwing 8s at that. So loving the attack approach from Tatiana. Let's have a look at it again. You can see how cleaner the face of the wave is. Beautiful opening maneuver. Just gets the rhythm straight off the bat. And that bottom turn, top turn combo, maneuver after maneuver. It's not about how many turns you do on the wave. It's about the quality of turns done. And that's exactly what the judges rewarded. A 7.83. Excellent, in my eyes, excellent surfing from Tatiana.
It's not the amount of turns that you do, but it's the quality of the turns you do. And we're just going to watch Tyler up here now.
Here we go, Tyler Wright banks it off the top. Warbly little wave. It's not going to do the trick for Tyler, so she kicks out, staying busy. Back to you, Rich. Continue on that conversation on the scoring.
Yeah, sure. And look, the tide's really high out here at the moment, and the wind's quite strong, so the conditions are a bit average.
But, you know, you heard Sage talk about it's a large playing field out there. There is a very slight rip that pulls you up the point, so it's easy to get out of position. You really got to be vigilant with your positioning.
Tyler Wright taking advantage of the first wave of the set, weaving down the line, looking for a place to punch a turn, and there it goes, backhand carve, snaps again, getting some rhythm through this inside section. Tyler Wright on the backhand. Nice tempo, nice rhythm, a nice series of maneuvers for Wright right behind her. Bethany Hamilton opens up an aggressive snap, a big spray throw on turn number 2, pumps off the bottom, catches an outside rail on one of those chops and goes down.
And fortunate there for Bethany, she was definitely on her way to another good score, 6.17 on her opening wave. Tyler Wright showing absolute patience on that wave. Cloud break's the kind of wave where if you try and oversurf it, things are going to happen. Mistakes will come, and Tyler Wright taking her time, waiting for that section to present itself, and she just absolutely tagged that last bit of the wave.
Really smart surfing. Let's take another look at Bethany's wave.
Yeah, just an aggressive approach here from Bethany. Beautiful opening maneuver. She starts to find the groove now. I love the way she keeps that board moving from rail to rail. Again, 3 solid turns from Bethany Hamilton, and then just a bit of a mistake there. Maybe just a sort of a, I don't know, in that sort of situation where she didn't know what to do. She wanted to do a big snap and then deciding not to. So in 2 minds coming into that last turn, but a little bit bigger, a lot more committed. And then Tyler Wright looking to replace a 217. That is a no-brainer. She's got to look for something up into that 7-point range. Let's have a look, just biding her time. You can see that first wave of the set, Kaipo, a lot of lump and bump, and as it comes around the corner, starts to clean up. Now she starts to go to town on the inside, throwing a lot of spray out the back of the wave. And a series of beautiful turns through that inside section, but kind of missed that outside, and I think that's going to hurt the scoring potential on this wave. All those maneuvers done down through the inside.
Well, as we wait for scores, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more have had in the past years, Kaipo Girl, along with Martin Potter. During that break, Potts, we had a big score drop for our event Wildcard. Bethany Hamilton, we're going to get back to that as we're in live action with Tatiana Weston-Webb in the blue jersey. Squares off the bottom, straight up through the lip. Comes around this section, another aggressive snap for Tati. Pulls in, and that's just going to be a closeout, but 2 big damaging maneuvers to the wave face out here at Cloudbreak for Tatiana Weston-Webb. Currently in 3rd, but that's just because she hasn't had her 2nd wave score, and that's the score that she's going to get. We're on standby.
7.83 on her opening wave, and it's a very unique kind of wave that Tatiana looks for. She looks for one of those waves that sort of hit the reef a little straighter, which is going to offer that possible tube ride. You can see both of her waves going really fast through that inside section. So she's definitely looking for a different kind of wave as opposed to Bethany and Tyler. Beautiful opening maneuver just to get things going. And again, that snap and then pulls up into the tube ride. She's looking for that barrel. which is definitely one of the biggest scoring maneuvers when it comes to cloud break. Tyler Wright up again, catching a lot of waves here. This was during the break. She obviously dropped a 5.43 on the wave before. That's not going to do it for Tyler. So Tyler with a 6 and a 5.43. But the story is Bethany Hamilton, the wild card, is doing damage yet again. A 6.17 Kaipo on an opening wave, backed it up with a massive 8.17. Now that is with a fall at the end of her wave as well. Had she finished that off, we would have seen that go way higher. 2 8.5s, 2 8s, and a 7.8, averaged out to an 8.17. She finds herself in the lead, and Tatiana needing some big scores along with Tyler.
Well, let's take another look at that 8.17. Talk us through this, Potts.
Yeah, well, it's the judges are scoring what she did up until the point where she wiped out. So look at the turns she's doing. Critical, positive, aggressive surfing from Bethany. And then comes around the section. You can see a little bit of a hesitation right there, that double pump off the bottom. She was in two minds of what she wanted to do. A little mistake incurred, but along the way did some serious damage. The judges rewarded that. 8.17, great surfing from Bethany, and finds herself in the lead.
Here we go. You can see the big story on the screen. Green highlighted scores of the top two waves, and that's the full story. You can see Tyler Wright, by far the busiest surfer out in the lineup, but we're counting down, Potts, and it looks like Bethany Hamilton, the wild card, is going to skip round number 2, vault straight into round number 3. Her husband Adam and young son are applauding on the beach here at Fiji Island Resort, and Bethany Hamilton just beaming. Great job done.
What a legitimate wild card. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Coming off a semi-final last year,